Good morning, everybody. Great to see you all again here in September. It's been a little while since we've been together. So my name is Bettina Swigger. I'm the CEO of Downtown SLO. And we're here every month on the third Monday of the month to give you an update on our COVID-19 response and recovery, as well as some of the activities that are taking place in our organization and with our businesses and with our partners to help support the businesses and activities downtown. If you could mute yourself if you are not speaking, we would appreciate that just for general background purposes, but we're delighted to see so many of you and we've got a packed agenda this morning. So we will go ahead and get started. I want to say thank you to our board of directors and our liaisons. They are all pictured here. If you see any of these beautiful faces around town, please make a note to say thank you for your service. And any of them would also be willing to speak to you in addition to our staff. If you have any questions about what's going on in the downtown or businesses that are if you're a new business to the downtown as well. Our board did meet last week and we had a packed agenda where we talked about a number of the things we'll discuss with you later in the program today. For example, we talked about our programs like Concerts in the Plaza, Farmers Market, and our upcoming holiday celebrations, because yes, even though it's September, we are already putting our Santa hats on to start thinking ahead to those festivities. And you'll get to hear some updates from that as well. We also will be releasing our annual report to the community, which details our programs and activities between July 1st, 2020 and June 30th, 2021, which is our fiscal year that recently completed. So look for that in your inbox and on your front doorstep and in your mailbox very soon. I wanted to remind everybody that with our Cal Poly student body back in town.
Good morning, Bettina. It's Nisha. Hi, I can't see the slides.
Oh, okay.
I'm seeing your Zoom screen.
Oh, well, that's not very interesting. Thanks for saying that. Does that work?
Beautiful.
Thank you, Nisha, for saving me. Gosh, we've only been doing this for 18 months. Sorry, everybody. Well, with everybody coming back to downtown, especially the students, and oh gosh, we can tell for sure that they are back. We're welcoming them with we're welcoming their wallets, we're welcoming their footsteps, and we're also welcoming them as employees for your businesses. So hopefully with some of those students coming back, they will be joining on your teams. And I wanted to remind everybody that there's a great program called the Downtown Access Pass, where if you are an employee in a downtown business, you can get a free bus pass. And I actually am practicing what I preach. I signed up for my very first Downtown Access Pass 2 weeks ago, and I've been riding the bus and it is fast. It's a great program. So just a reminder that that is out there. In addition, let's talk about what's going on with COVID-19. And I'm going to ask our Operations and Public Space Manager, Shannon, to speak a little bit about that now.
Thank you, Bettina. Good morning, everybody. So I have the latest COVID-19 numbers as of September 16th. There are over 27,000 positive tests of COVID-19 in SLO County, over 1,000 active cases, and unfortunately, we have lost 301 folks to COVID-19, and that does not include members. From last Friday, we unfortunately lost 6 more members as of Friday. There have been over 173,000 doses of the vaccine administered in SLO County, and these reports are updated on Tuesdays and Fridays for you. And as of September 1st, I'm sure you are all very aware that masks are required in all indoor public spaces. So thank you all for doing your part and masking up to keep our community safe. I'll pass it back to you, Bettina.
Great, thanks, Shannon. Wanted to also say, there's kind of a moment where we're having a lot of disease transmission or transmission. We're back in a mandate, which is good. And I hope that that helps some of your businesses, especially with that mandate in place where your staff can actually say, hey, look, this is a mandate. And that eliminates some of the potentially problematic conversations that have happened. We know how to do this. This is the way to go forward. Last month on our call, we detailed the open and closed business map and the vacancy tracking that our organization is doing. And I'm delighted to report that our vacancy rate in the downtown continues to go down. Just this last week, we saw more businesses open, but our current vacancy rate in the downtown is at 8.19%. And we will do another count next week as we go into the last week of September to see how that number has changed. And we expect that it's going to go down even further. So with that, we have some new businesses to welcome to the neighborhood, and also some businesses that have moved into larger spaces or have reopened. So the big news on Friday was that Anthropology opened downtown in the old Express space. And this was a deal that was coming for a long time. So congratulations to the San Luis Bispo collection on that. There were a lot of people walking around on Friday and Saturday carrying those blue bags with the A in the middle of it. So that's definitely going to be an attractor to all businesses downtown. It's a very popular business. And we also saw some other businesses move into larger spaces. Humankind Fair Trade moved just down the street in their beautiful new space, and where Ascendo Coffee used to be. Congratulations to them on more square footage and for retail in this age. That's definitely great to see. The Carissa reopened as an indoor-outdoor event venue, so we're excited to see that come back into play. And Thai Delight is a rebranded Thai restaurant on Higuera Street, so check them out. We also have the beautiful Lokum baklava and Turkish coffee spot, which just opened on Higuera. A very popular spot. I recommend checking it out. They are delicious. They have another place in Santa Barbara, and they're going to do great things for that spot. We also saw Calico Trading Company come into downtown. They had their space on Broad Street, and they moved into downtown, and they're very excited because they are adjacent to the parking structure. So they actually moved downtown so they could have more parking. True story. And then we also have some additional wellness businesses, including Expand and Breathe, which is in a second story business up above Higuera. So if you hear about new businesses, please let us know. Our membership and program coordinator, Cassidy Shevlin, is doing outreach to those new businesses as we find out about them. We try to do the best we can, but if we are missing anyone, just let us know and we'll reach out. With that, I mentioned parking just a minute ago, and we're going to invite Gavin Hussey, the parking services manager for the city of SLO, to give a little bit of an update to what's going on in parking. Good morning, Gavin.
Good morning, Bettina. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. So we have a lot of stuff going on, and I am very excited to announce that we have finally secured 4 mobile app providers for our parking services. So we have secured Hawk Mobile, Park Smarter, and Pay by Phone. We are working through contract language with 2 of those vendors, but 2 of the vendors have already signed off, and we're going to begin implementation and testing this week, which is excellent news for us. We're trying to have one of the vendors rolled out by next week at the earliest. So super excited to be able to have that. You should see some signage go up over the weekend if we are able to get them launched by next week. So the other big things we have going on are our meter pole removal. The goal of this was to continue with our meter removal and transition to the multi-space pay stations. It is going to open up our sidewalks and definitely create a new appearance on the sidewalk, so improve the aesthetics of the downtown area. The scope of the work should be taking place starting next week through the beginning of November. And we're hoping for minor impacts at best across most of the area. So ideally, we're just going to close a parking stall and have the area right around the meter pole closed while we do the repairs. There is a chance that we might have to have a panel changed here or there where we have significant degrading. So staff have identified those areas. If that is the case, that panel will be closed for about 2 to 3 days while they put the new panel into place. So hopefully minor impacts there overall, but as many of you walk around the downtown area, you are going to see that trees roots have broken up a lot of the panels, and we are going to be hopefully changing out some of that there. So other big project we just completed was the conversion of the courtesy curbside pickup spaces. So over the downtown area, 14 spaces were created. The majority of these were either from yellow zones or previously orange bag spaces. And the orange bag spots were what we had created with the assistance of Bettina during the pandemic to try to help people that were picking up dine out meals or online purchases. And it was very well received by our community. A lot of the people that were stopping downtown enjoyed having a place where they could pull off and park. Unfortunately, though, the municipal code and the California Vehicle Code don't allow for us to just orange bag a space. And our municipal code does allow for us to have the white curb. So, and we have historically used the white curb for loading, unloading, and customers can leave their vehicle unoccupied there for 10 minutes. So we'll continue with this program. What wound up happening is we converted 5 orange bag spaces, 6 yellow zone spaces, and 3 30-minute spaces to accommodate the new areas downtown. We also were able to gain back 4 metered spaces. We found a yellow zone up on Osos that was underutilized, and then we got 1 meter back. So we are converting those to 2-hour parking. We're taking a look at the remaining 30-minute spaces around downtown. And as the 30-minute spaces have historically been underutilized, we are going to look to make those 2-hour parking. So hopefully get back some more parking that can be better utilized. The goal is not to put people in infraction, but give them an area where they can park and use the space effectively. And then the last couple things are for people on this call. So I know that there's a lot of discussion about parking programs and what we offer to the downtown employees and to downtown businesses. Currently, we do have what's called a Prox card. It is a tap card for the parking structures. You can utilize that at the 842 parking structure up at Palm, or you can use it at the Marsh parking structure. That is $255 per quarter, and the pass provides you, parking between 6 a.m. and 12 a.m. So for the full duration of the daytime there. Beyond that, we have a 10-hour meter permit, which is for employees or businesses to purchase, and businesses can provide that to their staff if they choose. And this allows you to park for 10 hours at any of the 10-hour meters on the periphery of downtown. And then the last thing that we offer for businesses exclusively is our validation tickets. So we already provide 1 hour free in the parking structures, but if a business wants to provide parking for additional time beyond that to customers or employees, we sell 100 validation tickets for $100. And it's a great way for customers to get a benefit from a business to park in the downtown area, or for employees that are here for just a couple of hours to support the business. So that's what I got this morning.
Great, thank you, Gavin. Can you put some of those links in the chat for those employee programs for people? That would be great. And Can you also remind us of what the first app to come on will be, so we can all download that on our phones and learn how to use it?
Happy to. So it's going to be Honk Mobile. And if there's ever any questions, please email either myself or parking info at SLO City, and our staff are happy to provide any information. It's a lot of stuff, and I think previously our website didn't fully explain it. I think we're trying to get there with some assistance of our community members that are telling us how the website reads for them. So we're definitely trying to make improvements so it's a little bit more digestible for our community. And I'll drop all that in the link.
Great. Okay, and that's Hop like a bunny, right? Hop Mobile?
Honk, H-O-N-K, like a goose.
Oh, thank you. Very important details, but there's definitely an animal onomatopoeia reference in there, so that's good.
Yeah.
And since we've got you here, it is coming up at the end of September. And do you have any update on the Palm de Pomo Cultural District parking structure? What the status is for that?
Yeah, so we're still moving forward with that parking structure. We have just contracted with RRM to be the new project manager for that. So they'll be taking over that operations. There has been, we did lose a couple of engineers over the last few months, and one of them was our project manager, Richard Birdie. So RRM will be taking over that responsibility in the short term. We're trying to get the PG&E work scheduled and executed by spring of 2022. So hopefully we'll be seeing some activity over there relatively soon with surveying and other things. Our staff are working to get some boards up on the lot so you guys can see what the beautiful designs are and the timeline that the city is going to try to meet.
Great. Thanks for that update, Gavin. Appreciate it.
Happy to help.
Okay, up next we have our downtown sergeant from the city of SLO. We're going to hear from Sergeant Dickel. Good morning, Sergeant Dickel. How are you this morning?
Good morning. How are you? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, welcome.
Well, thanks for letting me join in. I just wanted to touch base. It's been a little while since I've spoken to maybe everybody here and give you a quick update for the police department. Some exciting stuff that's been going on for us. We're not there yet, but we're working on our staffing numbers coming back around through some recent approvals with some like hiring on bonus kind of stuff. We're starting to get lateral police officers again, which is great. And what that means, they're experienced officers coming into the city. So it doesn't take so long to get them up and running and being out there doing something for the city. A brand new employee, it takes about a year before they're going to be out there on their own doing something after they go through the academy. So the staffing numbers are coming back around, and with that, you should start seeing our beloved Metro back in downtown, out on bicycles and doing the stuff that they do. So if there's anything specific, I just wanted to share that we're still here and still have access to me. And then if there's something I could do for you or your business, a lot of people have been great about reaching out, and we go through some, SEPTED kind of how do we prevent crime just through environmental design kind of stuff with some of your businesses, and that's been great and I think helpful. And so if there's something like that I could do, or you have other questions, I'm always available. And unless you have a question right now, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time.
Well, we appreciate you being here, Sergeant Dickel. I do have one question. I know there is talk about having a mobile crisis unit. Is that going to be part of PD, or will that be in a different department? Do you have any update on that?
Yeah, actually it'd be both. So currently we have what's called the Community Action Team, or you'll hear them referred to as the CAT team, and it's an officer and a mental health professional that are teamed up. We're gonna have a second team that's just like that, and then there'll be a third program through the fire department, which will have a firefighter, paramedic attached. Same setup, but instead of an officer, it's a firefighter, paramedic, and then in some areas that program has been successful because it's not a cop that's there, and so sometimes people are more willing to work with that team. So pretty soon, yeah, you're going to start to see more of that same kind of action out there. So 3 separate teams. I don't know the timeline for the fire department, but I would say by next year-ish, I think is what the time frame was. And you'll see more of that kind of model out there, where there's a mental health worker working alongside with an officer. But we still have our current team and have for now, I think 2 years. And then it's a very successful so far. It's just, it's a difficult process. And so they do what they can, and certainly being overwhelmed will help with this new officer coming on, or new team coming on, to reduce some of that workload.
Great. Yeah, we're happy to hear about that. And I do have a question about the process. So let's say we observe somebody who seems to be having some kind of mental health crisis. Would we call the non-emergency line and request that service, or will the dispatch route proper services when you give a report?
That's a great question. I would say use your best judgment. If you think it's something that needs immediate addressing, who we have available, who is going to respond. And so if that team's not available, then they're going to send an officer. But if that team is available, yeah, the dispatch is working through that. Is this something that the CAT team can handle? But throughout their day, they're actually pretty scheduled. So if you have something specific, like say it's a regular person or regular transient that you work with or deal with, with your business or in the area, and you're looking for a more long-term solution, just say that when you call up. You'll call the same number and say, hey, I'm actually looking for that CAT team or the mental health to come by and help this guy. He's here all the time, or whatever it might be. And then the dispatch will know, okay, all right, this isn't necessarily an emergency where they need a police officer right now, but we'll send it over to the CAT team so that as soon as the CAT team is available, they can then maybe go and address the issue and see if they could help that person. But all of our officers are actually really good at this anyways. They're good at addressing these mental health issues and trying to identify them and streamline them into services. Yes, we'll try to refer them to John Clevens, who's our mental health worker, and Tim Kosnick, who is our officer on that team. And then they'll even call them to try to get them to come over. But with being one team, you know, they're only here for about 40 hours a week. And so it's kind of a daytime atmosphere. And these problems don't always just come up during the daytime conveniently. And so that's what would be great once these new teams come on. But use your best judgment. If you feel it's something more long-term and less emergent, then say, hey, I would like the CAT team to address this because this is an ongoing issue. And or, you know, talk to the officers when they get there. Or even, you could even ask, hey, can you have the officer call me before they show up? I mean, that's totally fine. As best we can, we'll try to do that. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, these officers are out there to help. And then that's really what they try to do. So especially in these kind of situations. And likely if you deal with the person all the time, so does that officer. And they probably have a relationship with them.
Great, that's really helpful. And we'll hopefully get another update from you maybe in a month or two when that team is.
Hoping to bring exciting news. I'll tell you, there's 2 lateral officers that just started. So that's big news. And then we have 3 in the academy that are doing really well. And they're set to graduate in December. And so, I mean, there's 5 officers right there. And so I'll even put it out to everybody on this call. If you know an officer that's looking to move to the area, have them check out the website. It's, you know, there's a lot of great things going on for SLO PD right now with new administration. And so if you know anybody that's interested, now's a really good time.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here, and thanks for all you do to help protect our downtown.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Okay, up next, we have not the supervisor Dawn Ortiz-Legg herself, but I believe we have Sarah Sartain from her office. Good morning, Sarah. How are you today?
Good morning. If you want to, I can share my screen if you want to give me permission. Perfect. One second. Oops. Let's see. Okay, perfect. There it goes. Okay, so yeah, you guys get me today. The supervisor's busy with a meeting, so I'm gonna start with the first. Oh shoot! How do I get it to go next? There we go. So upcoming in the next meeting, we're gonna have an amendment to the ordinance to amend the the county's traffic regulations code for the towns of Avila Beach Drive, town of Oceano, Cayucas, and establishing a limited parking for the town of Los Osos. That's set to go across the board on the 28th. Currently, they are working on more safe parking locations. We have the one currently out at Kansas Avenue. And then they are looking to add one more location within the county, but we don't have a site yet. And then currently with Housing the Unhoused, we have one site located for an installation of pallet homes, which you can kind of see is the image in the upper right-hand corner. They're simple little homes that we could pop up and build. I believe it takes less than 1 day. So they are working on the location currently for the one location is to be announced soon. And hopefully they'll be finding one more location to add more of these for everybody. But Supervisor Ortiz-Legg is currently engaging with private housing developers for more possibilities. Hopefully we'll have more information on that soon. Just a little update on the different Arpa funds. Currently, they have not been dispersed yet, but there's about 29 million that will be released, and kind of breaks it down with public health receiving about 14 million, businesses, nonprofit, child care grants, 9 million, housing and homelessness, 6 million. So it totals to 29 million. Currently, the administrative office is working on issuing the annual community grants. And so just a few I broke down here. So if you guys, there's a bunch of them, but just to give you an update that these will be going out shortly. And so if your business received one, you'll probably be receiving an agreement pretty soon. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to our office and I can do some research for you. Also, one thing to mention with that is, you know, some businesses don't receive anything. And if you got on, and once you receive something, then you're on the list and then you have an opportunity to receive more the following year. So, so there's always that. And then lastly, well, actually not lastly, the redistricting. So there's going to be a couple redistricting dates coming up for the Board of Supervisors. Currently on October 26th, there'll be a meeting from 6 p.m. And then there's going to be the redistricting hearing for the draft maps on November 19th, and that will start at 9 a.m. Redistricting hearing number 4 for final map and redistricting plan adoption. That will be again at 9 a.m. Finally, on December 7th, they will have the regular scheduled board meeting, which will be the introduction of the ordinance. And then lastly, the redistricting hearing number 5 will be held on December 14th at 1:30 p.m. And that will be the adoption of the ordinance. If you have any questions or comments regarding that, you can always email the county at redistricting@co.slo.ca.us. So that's exciting. And then lastly, if anybody wanted to meet with Supervisor Ortiz-Legg, she holds office hours from 1 to 3 every Thursday. Currently, we're working on getting some other locations. On every third Thursday, we'll be at Shell Beach Library between 1 and 3. And then we're also just adding the Avila Beach Community Center, which will be on the same Thursday, but between 10 and 12. As always, though, she's happy to meet with you guys at any time or any, you know, if you have any questions or problems whatsoever, you can always email me at district3@co.slo.ca.us or give me a call, 805-781-4336. So that wraps it up for the county update.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate that. Great updates. And I can also add that you may see Supervisor Ortiz-Legg also at concerts in the plaza on Friday nights.
That's one of her favorites.
And we want to thank her for her sponsorship of that through her discretionary fund. That was really great. Thank you. Thank you. All right, up next, we've got Joy Peterson from Cal Poly. Good morning, Joy. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I love coming to this group. I learn a lot from the updates, actually. So it's great to see some familiar faces and names and be here with you representing Cal Poly. Courtney is not able to be here this morning, so I have some updates to share. And as many of you know, today is the first day of fall quarter, so things are getting busy on campus. Vaccinations are required for all students, staff, and faculty unless they have a medical or religious exemption. And of our enrolled students for fall, we are right around 90%, over 90% of vaccination. So our numbers are slightly higher than the vaccination rate for the community in general. We also, like the county, have a mandate for masking indoors, and we are working on enforcement of that for all students. As you can imagine, we have a lot of indoor spaces, so that's something that that we're working on. We have 62 beds set aside for isolation and quarantine at the moment. And for unvaccinated students, we have ongoing testing required, and we also have that ongoing testing available on campus for any students, faculty, and staff. And then you'll notice behind me, we're doing a campus comeback initiative. So the first 10 days of the quarter, we have lots of extra activities For students, we recognize that many of our students have not been on campus for the last year and a half. Some of our second-year students have never been on campus. And for our transfer students who weren't on campus last year that were admitted last fall, this is both their first and their last year on campus. So we're doing some extra events to welcome students, re-engage them. We have an info booth in the UU Plaza, and we've been directing students all morning who are lost or looking for COVID testing. And we will be at Farmers Market on Thursday. So looking forward to seeing some of you at our booth Thursday, handing out some campus comeback swag. And that's it for my report.
Fantastic. Well, we are definitely seeing the students downtown, and we saw a lot of their parents as well over the last week. So it's exciting to see, and we're excited about that vaccination rate too. That bodes very well for our community. So thanks for being with us. I'm sure today is a very busy day for you, and we appreciate it. All right, up next, we have Mr. Jim D'Antona from the Chamber of Commerce. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Bettina. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody. Just a couple quick updates. We'll start with this Thursday is Good Morning, or we'll start with our COVID business survey. We can go back to that one. That's fine. So we'll be actually sending out a survey to our members. We will add a link in the chat to, actually we'll send it out to everyone just to let you know that we just want to get a sense of how things are changing. We know there was a great big push around staffing. People are obviously struggling with that issue. There was some idea that maybe part of it was related to the unemployment. We think it's actually much bigger than that. We think lives have changed. We think people are doing things differently. Sure, some of it may have been the unemployment dollars, and maybe that will get some back on. So we want to find out from you, that ended a little earlier in the month. There's still money coming in for that for a little while. Want to see how that's impacting. Are you finding more staff? What other things are happening here that we've seen limiting business and how it's impacted? So that business impact survey will be going out, and hoping to be able to get that so we can share it with the community and have even bigger discussions of what we need to do to ensure you have more staffing. What are the things we can do to make sure your business is running as efficiently as possible? So if you get a chance to take that, that'd be great. That would help us. And then we, of course, share it with anybody who wants that information, just so we can, especially the cities and counties, so as they can do things legislatively to try and make it better for your business. Second, we have our Good Morning SLO. We've been running these now hybrid style. If you are comfortable and vaccinated, you can come and attend in person, or you can certainly, we have it such that you can watch this virtually online. So we have a really great lineup. Some of these folks are doing amazing work. Certainly Josh Williams, who will be talking about what we lose without childcare in our economy, and Chris Blevins, who's really interesting, will be there. He'll be he was one of our cyclists at the Olympics, and so really interesting folks talking. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see this and check it out, because it's really interesting. And at the moment we're doing masks in person and vaccinations, and at some point we're theorizing that we will be back to normal, but trying to make it as normal as possible with all of the restrictions we're facing. Lastly, our visitor guide will be coming out. We want to thank everybody who's been a part of it and helped make this a fabulous publication that we'll be able to share and tell people about all the great things happening, highlighting businesses, how to interact, where to go in SLO. And so that will come out. We have it digitally. We are getting all the in-print versions today, so they should be arriving in your mailbox shortly. So feel free to share those. And we're working on creating a QR code, so if you just want to review these via online, we can have those available for you too. Finally, I will just say this wasn't part of the presentation. Leadership SLO. Class 30, which is the next class. So we're finally getting to a new class after class 29 has served for 2 years, trying to get through this COVID. They may be the greatest class ever, but they are certainly the longest class ever. And so we're working on the next class. So if you know someone who would be great to be a part of the organization, or go through the Leadership SLO training, we would recommend you send them over to the Leadership SLO website. I'll drop it in the chat, and sign up to potentially be a part of the next class of Leadership SLO. And Bettina, that's all I got.
That's great. Thanks, Jim. And I totally echo what you're saying about the staffing shortages early in your presentation. I think we're seeing a lot of that too. And it's good to see the childcare conversation come up because that's a huge, huge part of it. Families have been transformed by this illness and by the world. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think it's just people collecting unemployment.
And in part of the childcare question, we should have a bigger announcement in October on some things we can do as private sector, and a pretty interesting program that might be coming forward. That will be coming forward. Yep.
Great. Well, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
All right, up next, we have the SBDC. We have Kristen Meehl from our SBDC, located conveniently here in downtown. Good morning, Kristen. How are you?
Good morning, Bettina. I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see everyone on this call. Can you guys see my screen? Are you guys seeing a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. My machine's going a little slow here. So wanted to bring to this group some positive EIDL updates that the SBA announced on September 8th. Before we get into them, and it's just a couple of quick slides, I want to note how you can get in touch with the SBA 1-800 number and email. They're actually being quite responsive and actually well staffed these days. So the big thing to announce is the increasing the cap on the EIDL. It's moving from 500,000 to 2 million. So big jump there. They're also deferring the payback of the EIDL for 24 months from when the loan originated to give some relief to particularly small business owners, letting them know, let's get through this current wave of the pandemic. You don't have to worry about paying the loan back. Then they also established a 30-day exclusivity window for small businesses. So if you're looking to get a loan of 500,000 and less, you're going to be first in the process from September 8th through October 8th. And then lastly is the expansion of the use of the funds. So it can be now used to prepay commercial debt and make payments on other federal business debt. So kind of 4 key announcements coming out of the SBA. Here is where you can learn more, sba.gov/EIDL. And then there is a full list of the EIDL updates at that link as well too. Any questions?
That's great. That's really interesting to hear that that program's been expanded so significantly. I also want to just chime in that in addition to the federal program, the California COVID-19 business relief grants are still being processed. And in fact, for our organization, we applied, I think back in February, and we just received our grant a couple of weeks ago. So if there are some of you out there who applied and thought, oh, well, I just didn't make it, you may still qualify in that round. So that's good to hear too.
Yeah, we're starting to see, I know, client, just to echo those sentiments, Bettina, there's definitely more clients are getting that, SBDC clients are starting to get that $5,000 grant as well.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of months. We'll hopefully have a continuing conversations about how this relief will start to change from, emergency one-time funding into more sustained funding to handle different waves of the pandemic, as you said.
Yeah.
So we'll be following all of that federal legislation carefully, and we're so grateful that you're located conveniently in our downtown.
We're thankful to be here too.
It's great. And also want to just thank you for partnering with us. Last month, we gave away, gosh, I think like 9,095 masks with you all. So that was a great partnership for us, and we'll continue to look for opportunities to help support each other again.
Sounds fantastic, Bettina.
Great. We're going to shift gears just a little bit here now, and we're going to hear about some exciting new public art projects that are taking place in the downtown. We've invited Leanne Standish, who's the executive director of the San Luis Bispo Museum of Art. Good morning, Leanne. How are you today?
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. So tell us what's going on with the public art downtown.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Bettina. It's always great to connect with you right in advance of your meeting. It's very smart of me. So many of you know the museum recently contracted with the city to run the public art program we have a 2-year community partnership agreement. Really exciting. The public art program in SLO, I believe, started in 1990, and it really is specifically 0.5% of all new developments is either set aside by the developer into a fund, or they deliver within their project that amount of public art. So we're very excited. Our first project, of course, was Mama Mobius, which sits on the lawn outside the museum. That was our very first public art program. And hopefully she's staying for at least 6 months, but hopefully we can convince the artist to let her stay longer. And so our next project actually begins on October 7th. And if I can share screen, I'll share some images with you. Let's see, here we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, so Maria Multani is a renowned artist known specifically for doing murals on basketball courts. She hails from Boston and has this amazing sort of process of really engaging with the community. I don't think that's me, but it's some jamming tunes. So Maria has a really interesting family background, and she really likes to engage with the community in doing her projects. So we're super excited to work with Maria. She begins work on October 7th, and she will be doing a mural project on the back of the Fremont Theater. We expect that project to take about 21 days. You can see some of her beautiful projects here. So this will be the second of our projects with the city to fund public art in the downtown.
That is so cool. That is such a large wall in the downtown. Do you know the dimensions of the Fremont back wall?
Here's what I know is it's remarkably similar to a basketball court. This is what we learned through the process. So, but I couldn't tell you the exact dimensions.
Well, that's super exciting. Thank you for that great work. And we know that public art draws people into an area. It creates a more walkable destination. And we do have a really robust collection of public art in the downtown already, especially on the Creek Path. But these new projects are so important to just add to our charm and our character. And thank you.
Thank
Super
you.
excited to see this take shape.
Yay.
All right. Speaking of things that add to our character and our identity downtown, I'm going to invite our Downtown SLO program director, Whitney Cheney, to talk a little bit about everyone's favorite Thursday night activity, Farmers Market. Good morning, Whitney.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Yes, Farmers Market is up and running. I'm sure hopefully all of you saw everyone downtown last Thursday with Wow Week and everyone moving in. It was definitely a busier market. It felt like the old times of summer for us. A lot of our vendors sold out. A lot of the restaurants were packed. I know the parking garages were full. It was doing everything it was intended to do, which was bring foot traffic to the downtown area. So we're really excited to have the market. These are just some photos of the last few weeks showing entertainment, all of our vendors. We had the 40th Infantry Division Band performing, which was a really cool opportunity. They will be back on Veterans Day, November 11th. So we are looking forward to that. But it's just been really fun. We've been having sold out markets in terms of vendor space, over 100 vendors. Applications keep coming in. People are excited to be there. And this next slide is showing a few upcoming highlights that you can look forward to. On September 30th, we will have Cal Poly Homecoming. We will have the Drive Electric Showcase. October 7th, we'll see the return of our Fire Prevention Night. And October 28th, we'll see the return of our Halloween festivities, which will be the Trick or Treat Trail, the Costume Contest, and Scarioke. So we will have more information about that coming up in our delivery on our website. But yeah, we're really excited to have it. If you are a downtown business or any business that is interested in participating in the market, please reach out and we can provide more information. And we're excited to be back.
Thank you, Whitney. And I want to just say a special public thank you to you for your leadership on this program. You did so much work over the course of the market being shut down to think about the new ways to engage vendors. And we'll be making some additional exciting changes to the market over coming months. So thank you.
Thank
For all
you.
your hard work. Okay, up next, I'm going to invite Nisha Johnston, our event manager, to tell a little bit about Concerts in the Plaza, which, Nisha, concerts are almost over. Is that right?
I know, I can't believe it. We have our last one this Friday. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, just Concerts in the Plaza wrap up. We're so excited. We've had so many great artists perform. Brass Smash Brothers of the Bear. It's a off-brand of Fair Market Riot with special guests Samba Loca, The Kicks, Tipsy Gypsies, Moonshiner Collective, and Resignation was last Friday. So special thank you to all the band sponsors that we've had each week, providing us opportunity for these bands to play. We also had 100+ volunteers behind the bar, which is amazing. It's not just Downtown Association, but downtown businesses in the community coming together to really make this event possible. So we thank them. We also encourage the guests to BYOC, so bring your own cup. We sold over 650 souvenir stainless steel cups and almost 5,000 cans. So that's zero plastic waste, bring it back to the community, which is super exciting. Also wanted to give a big shout out to all the volunteers and staff. A few of them were the Downtown Board, H2O Engineering, Megan's Organic Market, American Riviera Bank, Guarantee Rate, and Sunrun. So thank you to everyone who's really helped make this really a fun event for us. And lastly, we have Dante Marsh and the Vibe Setters. So that will be this Friday night, September 24th, 5 to 8 p.m. The bar opens at 5. Music is from 5:30 to 7:30. It's starting to get dark earlier. We have the bistro lights up in Mission Plaza, so it is quite beautiful, and it should be a really, really amazing show. So thanks to everyone. And then you guys get a first look, a sneak peek into the downtown holidays. So we actually did a community engagement event on social media to see what our theme for the holidays would be. And there it is. Yeah. And the community voted. So it's going to be California Dreaming, which would be quite exciting. To go back one more, I can talk about all the special activations. So I'll have the lights and sights in Mission Plaza. We'll do some new activations, as you see on the bottom right. We'll have the lighted ornament that people can walk through. We'll also have the bistro lights going across the streets and the necklace lights, and then some uplighting as well in the parking structures. And in the heart of downtown SLO, we have our 45th anniversary of the holiday parade coming back Friday, it's December 3rd. Applications will actually go up live for floats or anyone who's interested in participating on October 1st. So look at our website at Downtown SLO or SLOhappenings.com, I think would be it. We'll also do Santa's House in Mission Plaza this year. search for Santa's mouse with the scavenger hunt we did with the Children's Museum. Again, letters to Santa, so kids can drop off their letters and then they will get a letter back. The classic carousel will be coming back. We didn't have that in 2020, so that'll be fun. And then the holiday window and parklet showcase. So really excited for November and December, and then we'll be here right before we know it.
Thanks, Nisha. Yeah, it definitely will. And we want to thank everybody who voted on our 2 themes. And we will be honoring our hometown heroes and our first responders in some capacity during the holiday parade. So stay tuned for some announcements about that. And we're also working on sponsorship opportunities. So we'll be putting together a sponsorship packet that we'll send out soon. And we'd love to get your support, not just for the sort of typical holiday things that we do, like Santa's house and the classic carousel that we're bringing back, but also for this incredible investment that the city is making in bringing more lights and sights to downtown in Mission Plaza specifically. We've got a matching grant opportunity from the city to raise some more money to help make this a celebration that grows year over year. So that over the next 3, 4, 5 years, we're just going to continue to light up our downtown and make it a really fun holiday destination. And thank you for all of your hard work on this, Nisha, especially getting that holiday parade application ready. We're excited about seeing those roll in October 1st. Okay, and now I'm going to ask Shannon to come back and give a little clean and safe update for July and August. How have things been going with the ambassador program, Shannon?
Well, things have been quite busy with the ambassador program, especially during the summer months. We've had a lot of foot traffic, which is really exciting. I've just put up a little graph here so you can see how things varied from July and August. So we had a pretty high amount of trash removed in the month of July, so 125 pounds. That dipped a little bit in August to just slightly under 100 pounds. The graffiti removed was about the same, actually. I think it was 25 tags removed each month. And the stickers and gum removed were higher in July than August as well. And then we have our CapSLO update for July and August. So Junior from CapSLO made contact with 68 individuals. He had 46 repeat contacts. There were 11 wellness checks and 3 clients went to Forty Prado, which is really exciting. We've had a lot happening downtown. I know this past weekend was very busy for our ambassadors. I think they said they removed 30 pounds of trash this weekend alone. I know there were quite a few wowies out, and our business owners were very happy to see them. So make sure you're picking up your trash, and our ambassadors can be reached at that ambassador hotline you saw on the last slide if you ever need them.
Great, thank you, Shannon. Appreciate that. And we are at 10:53, which means that you are going to have 7 extra minutes. So thank you so much all for joining us this morning. I hope this was a meaningful way to spend the last 53 minutes. And I want to remind you all to please keep your eyes peeled for our annual report to the community that we'll be sharing with you very soon, as well as those holiday sponsorship activities. And please, when you're out and about downtown, walk into those new businesses, welcome them. We are a community, we are a neighborhood, and the more that we can talk to each other and connect to each other, the stronger we'll all be. Thanks so much for taking the time to take the time on this busy Monday. I wish you all health and happiness and a productive week. Thank you for being here.